Today we have a guest. This is Snuggles. She is my wife's Holland Lot Bunny. I got it from my wife as a gift. And my wife is frequently overwhelmed by how fluffy she is. If you try to kiss her head, you will just be kissing into a cloud of puff because there's not much rabbit here. She's just a lot of fluff. And so what my wife will do, because she's overwhelmed with her emotions towards how adorable it is and how fluffy, that she'll just kind of like tense up her fingers. She won't actually squish the rabbit. She won't hurt it, but she'll be just like, it's so fluffy, I just want to squish the stuffings out of it. And so the reason my wife does this is because it's decompressing that overwhelming emotion that she's experiencing. So it comes out in a form of aggression. She gruffles her throat, so it's just deeper voice, and she tenses her fingers, and she says that she wants to squish the stuffings out of it. Now, this is a feeling that she's feeling. She doesn't actually want to hurt the bunny, but she's overwhelmed, and it comes out in this aggressive, I just want to squish the stuffings out of it. Does it make sense? And you may have some experience with this emotion yourself. Cute little babies, you just want to squeeze their cheeks because they're so cute, or baby sea otters are very adorable as well. But my point is this emotion is non-malicious but aggressive or violent, and it's because you're trying to decompress that overwhelming sensation that you're experiencing. Now, this happens with both positive and negative things. If you drop a jar on your toe, you're going to be experiencing some extreme emotion. I'm sure this has happened to a lot of you, and you will want to what? Scream, or I wouldn't recommend, but you could say something you shouldn't, and you could say it very loudly, or maybe you won't do that. You will feel like punching the wall or stomping your foot and be like, ah! Why? Because it's helping you deal with the overwhelming emotion and feeling that you're experiencing. That's a negative one. And then there's the positive one of if you win the lottery. If you were just told that you won $20,000, or maybe you didn't win the lottery, let's say somebody just gave you a new car. You would just be overwhelmed. You would be like dancing and shouting and screaming and jumping up and down, or whatever would fit your personality. But the point is it's helping you deal with how extreme what you're experiencing is, whether it's positive or negative. And with a cute fluffy bunny, it's positive. Now, we're covering sexual aggression in this presentation. And the reason that I've said all these things is because it's relevant to sexual aggression. During sex and before sex, an individual can feel so overwhelmed with sexual desire that what happens? It comes out in a form of aggression. And it can be alarming to the spouse that doesn't understand what's going on. But my point is that it is a natural and healthy thing. It's not necessarily that your spouse wants to hurt you. Does it make sense? That's the point of this. The point is they're overwhelmed, and they deal with the overwhelming sexual desires and sensations by aggression, whether it's verbal aggression, or the tone in their voice, or the things that they say, or how intensely they're thrusting you, or whatever it is, or how tightly they're pinning you down. And so it can come across as very non-Christian. However, I want you to understand that all overwhelming emotion is generally decompressed by some form of aggressive expression, again, verbal or physical. And so that's why I brought Snuggles into this little bit, so that way all of you can see how cute and fluffy she is and be like, oh, she's just so sweet, I just want to squish her. Not because you want to hurt her, and this is the thing. Your spouse doesn't want to hurt you. They're just overwhelmed by you in a positive way. This is a good thing. So don't be led to feel like your spouse wants to hurt you. And if you feel aggressive towards your spouse, there's a good chance that this is the reason. So think about it. Don't just feel like, well, I must be a bad person because, I feel like doing all this stuff to my spouse. Not necessarily. It's chances you're just overwhelmed, and it's a really positive thing. You just want to make sure that you keep your expressions to so they're not too aggressive that you actually hurt somebody. That would be the problem. That would be the caution there. But yeah, cute fluffy bunnies help us explain things about sexual desire and aggression and so forth. So if you're going to be aggressive, just make sure that you put a damper on it so you're not too aggressive to hurt somebody. And if you're the one that's being treated aggressively, understand that it's just because your spouse is overwhelmed by a positive emotion from having sex with you. So it's a good thing. So yeah, just keep all that in mind. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next presentation.